being in between worlds, dimensions, spaces, realities, spiritual plane, etheric plane versus material 3D as we move into 5D. I don't know much about 5D and the shift that our world is changing into. But if I were to look at it scientifically, cells duplicate and replicate, and at some point they split. So if our world is a cell, I could see the possibility that it is replicating and splitting, therefore being two realities, and if this has happened before and again, then there is the multiverse. I was looking at this TikTok where this guy said, look at your left arm, and if you have a mole, when you turn your arm palm facing up on your forearm, then you are a clone. He was saying it was for men, and then I turned my arm and, well, there it was. See, our technology isn't advanced enough to be clone central like Tyrone, per se, or the Matrix that I know of. There's that. But I could go into the multi-layer of things. You know, I'm very into sci-fi, and it started with Battlestar Galactica. Anywho, the in-between is where I find myself. As I go more into the scientific nature of my birth chart, I see the reasons that I act the way I act. You know, and I look into others as well, and I see why they act the way they act. You know, having done some study on traits and psychoastrology. I'm going to trademark that if no one has already. But anyway, you know, I get sad that things don't work the way they should, but when I look into the dynamic of our psycho-astro, I say, oh, this is why the way this is, and that is why the way that is, and it helps me put things into perspective. And it's hard to put things that are spiritual into perspective because it is non-tangible, and for us 3D beings who are also living in 5D mentality or headspace, it gets a little, how should I put it, half in and half out. Nobody will understand, sort of. I relate it to, you know, and I find that this term can be derogatory, but casting pearls, right? And it's not that there's swine, it's that they just won't get it, and it's a waste of breath. And that, because of my sensitive nature, can be hurtful in essence, because all I want to do is share everything that is of me, and that comes through me. And my nature, just the way my chart is laid out, is that I am almost total spirit. There is very little of me that is in desire to be in the 3D, and the parts that are in desire to be in 3D are very highly 3D. So it's some shit. I'm here because I woke up today, but I didn't quite wake up. And I thought that was strange. You know, I'll come out of my dream state and okay, there was a dream that I experienced, and it felt that way, and then I deal with my morning feelings. I feel, lately I've been feeling consumed by another. However, as I dug deeper into their chart, into our dynamic, and the psycho demo of it, is that we just have a magnetic thing. And the thing is not them or I, it's an entity that is formed between the two of us based on our emotional connection and our, whatever, not to go too deep, but yeah, it's a thing. So I've been waking up, it's like, that's a thing, it's a Jones. I've been waking up in this jonesing space, like, okay. And then I have to shake off that Jones, and then, okay, I get into my day, right? I don't want to live in the jonesing space. Trust me, I would rather not. I rather be elsewhere in mind. So I force myself to think about the things that I really desire in life. And one of the things I desire is heavily 3D, but I tie it into my essence and nature and who I am, and I think it comes across in a lovely way. I'm not in a place to reveal any of that, but in asking for help in so many ways through Damon Brand's Archangel series and Angel series, I've been doubling down on, okay, let's get it done, sort of frequency, let's get it done, and things been popping into my feeds, my timelines, my scrying, my scripting, and I got into a really good place of strategy, and I love that. I sought the strategy one. Kamail. Yeah. And poof, I'm in the strategic planning phase, and there were some kinks that I ran into. Something that was like, I don't know if that's going to work because of this location, and I couldn't find the right spot. Quite. And I started looking into astrocartography and what would be the best place. Couldn't quite find the right placement where I was looking. Something told me on this wake and this morning that I was looking in the wrong place. And what I called in and what I wanted, I realized is something that was frightening to me. See, where I am, I was like, yeah, I could be a big fish, little pond, just based on my sensibility. And I could rock that out, boom, and take it to the next place, which I deemed myself possibly ready. Even though there seems to be some imaginary warfare going on there. But I asked for something different, which is what I really want. So, maybe that's why I'm in the in-between. 10:55 on the clock. 55's that number that keeps on popping up for me. It almost makes me nauseous to... What is this feeling I have? It's like my body's panic response. I used to get panic attacks, but I found a way to quash them through realizing their onset and shifting my energy a bit. And this is the onset. Like, what is that trigger that makes me feel that I'm not there? So it's a vibrational match thing. These are the things that I have to cycle through to understand why and what and how. A vibrational match. When you do the ladders ritual, Damon says if you get any pushback to alter or change, you'll realize it in the ritual. When I started out in the first part of it, I was profusely sobbing to my desire, to my destiny. Makes me emotional thinking about it now. But I didn't get any pushback. The only pushback I got was to make it larger, to make it plural. I'm in such a weird space right now. I was telling someone I have no concept of time. Like, what are you doing this weekend? And I'll always say, I don't know. I don't look at my schedule as days of the week. I look at it like coordinates in space and time. Like, okay, I have to be here at this time. You know? I'm not like, yeah, Monday at 6. Let's go. I don't understand that. It doesn't compute. Anyway, I have to dive deeper into what the fuck and how to fuck, but and letting go and letting God and letting them just do their thing, you know, trusting. I am being rolled through the process. I am being prepared. And I am running down the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm running down the court and I'm preparing And I notice that this preparation is coming about, and I'm thankful that I am in the mind to prepare and do and run down the court. And I know, I guess if I feel like this, I just need more guidance and more support. And those are things that I can ask for. I think when I get too heady and when I get kind of lost in my own sauce, I can trust that I can always be shown the way if I ask. Pull over on the road. You're looking at that map, it's upside down. Pull over on the road and ask for directions. And I love that I can do that, and I love that I've found that I can do that. It took me a long time to find the way to ask for directions, and not that it's a specific way, but these are more direct, straight shot, here you go sort of directions. And I appreciate that, because sometimes you can ask and plead, and you're not asking right. You can pull over on the road and it looks like you have a cup and you're shaking change in it. You're not asking right. So yeah, had to shake that out a bit. Thanks for listening to my rant.